Maybe you're buying a new home, or maybe you're an existing homeowner. One thing's for sure, you want to save money on home insurance. Allstate can help make that goal happen. Plus, they're dedicated to making it easy to get a great quote fast.
Check Allstate first, and you could save $574 on your home insurance. No hassle, just savings. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Handsome, chatting with friends on the Handsome Pod. Chatting with friends on the Handsome Pod.
Pretty little episode.
Welcome to a pretty little episode.
Yeah, welcome, you guys.
Welcome, you guys. I like our vibe with this one.
That's
Hey,
right.
guys. Welcome.
We're so excited that people are asking us questions because we have so many answers.
We have so many answers.
We have the kind of answers that are going to blow your tigs off.
I don't get it.
Fortune Marie.
Fortune Marie.
That is kind of a funny saying. I'm going to blow your tigs off.
Yeah, I like that.
New merch alert. Handsome Pod will blow your tigs off.
Yeah, let's hear what people want to know.
Yeah.
Hey, Handsome Pod. My name is Leah. I'm in San Francisco. And my question for you today is about humor. And I want to know what's something that always makes you laugh.
Leah, we don't know a lot about humor. The three of us,
We're pretty serious.
it's not really our thing. No, I am interested to hear this question. I like dumb, silly stuff. I like, I like farts and people falling over and,
I like farts.
Yeah.
So you, if someone were to have like a whoopee cushion situation, you'd be like, "That's hilarious."
I'm in heaven. Yeah. Or like some, yeah. I also, anytime someone says something vaguely insulting to Conan O'Brien and he does that deadpan stare to the camera,
That's pretty good.
Conan O'Brien's face. He cracks me up.
It's
like
a
really
ridiculous face.
It's the best. Yeah. What about you guys?
Yeah, I'm into really silly stuff too. Some of the old school SNL sketches I can still quote to this day. Like, Molly Shannon's like, "I'm 50 years old, and I like to kick and stretch and kick because I'm 50. Like things like that, like the over the top characters. Like when Will Ferrell plays, the Anchorman guy, like people that commit to like really ridiculous things. I love it.
When
Even
people really go for
Zoolander,
it.
as stupid as that was, made me laugh.
Yeah. Big choices, like big swings that people commit to. Because I think that's sort of out of my wheelhouse for what I do. I want to be more like that. And in improv, I'm a little more like that. But like
when Kristen Wiig and Will Ferrell come out on stage for like an award show, I'm like, give it to me. Whatever crazy thing you've got, give it to me.
Yes. I mean, Bridesmaids really makes me laugh. The shitting scene and when they're trading off the mic, Rose Byrne and Kristen Wiig taking the mic from each other and keep smiling when they it kills me.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love silly, and I also love really awkward and uncomfortable, where you're like, oh, what is happening? What on earth is happening right this moment?
Yes.
The British definitely lean into that in your own comedy too, like silence and making people wait for the thing.
Yeah, that gets me too. Like I do love when I say something on the pod and Tig, your face just stays completely still, and it's like a comedy choice, but it kills me.
Well, yeah, it's that whatever. Do I really need to sit here and explain comedy? But
why not?
But just that fun of leaving somebody hanging after they've like made a big swing or leap or said something weird or awkward, and then just greet them with nothing.
Yeah,
and just let that vibe shake everybody.
I love bloopers, and the British Office has bloopers that reach like a real level of hysteria where they're like, take 49, and it's like two actors that just are like not even enjoying laughing anymore. They're just like, I'm gonna die. I don't know why I can't do this, and that makes me laugh.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you, Tig. When you're setting up those awkward moments or long pauses, or like, you know, be it the introducing the Indigo Girls or scooching the stool across the thing, do you, in the early stages of those, are you ever tempted to bail on the bit? Or you have no problem?
Am I tempted to bail?
Yeah, like where you're like,
no.
No.
No. I dig in, head down, and go for it.
Yeah, that is the best when it stops being funny and you're like, well, I know it's only going to get funny again if I stick with it. Like,
yeah. I mean, it doesn't make me uncomfortable. It really invigorates me.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if I'm telling a story and I can't figure out where I'm going, I'll get a little like, oh God, where am I going with this? What's happening?
I love that the three of us find similar people really hilarious though. Like, yeah, it's that era of SNL women for me is huge. And yeah, the Conans, I find Martin Short insanely funny. Like
he's so good and ridiculous.
Like silliness. Yeah. Well, that's a great question. Should we hear what she has to say?
Yes.
I tend to gravitate towards more dry, sarcastic humor, but the one thing that always makes me laugh is when other people are laughing. Like when I think about the SNL sketches where I have laughed the hardest, it's always when one of them breaks and they're giggling, and I just can't stop myself from laughing. And I experienced that with your podcast as well. When you are all laughing together, I'm always laughing with you. And so I think it's just wonderful that laughter is contagious. And I love your podcast. And thank you so much.
That's nice.
That's so nice. You remember Debbie Downer, that Rachel Dratch sketch? And every time the camera zooms into her, wah, wah, and she can't. And she's meant to be looking really sad, but she's trying not to laugh, so her mouth is shaking. It's so good.
I think obviously it's so fun to laugh when other people are laughing. What I can't stand is when people, are breaking and doing a laugh to make you laugh.
Oh, yes. A fake blooper, like a fake laugh is nothing worse.
Yeah.
Also, and I'm guilty of this for sure, being backstage at a comedy show with other comics, and there's some comic on stage and the fellow comics are doing like that fake supportive comedian laugh. Yeah, like that. Like to be like, I get the joke and I'm cool, and especially if their audience isn't laughing, I'm laughing, and
it's like I'd rather silence
than
but laughter does beget laughter. I used to do a thing called table envy. Where if say like you're out with, it used to work back like more college when I was like with my tennis team, and there'd be a table of us at one table and another table that had other teammates, whatever, and I'd be like, you guys, when I count to 3, we're all gonna laugh as hard as we can.
That's
just
fun.
So hard, okay? And they're like, wait, why? I go, just trust me.
Yeah.
And so it's to make the other tables envious that your table's having the most fun, and everyone's kind of like, okay. So I go 1, 2, 3, and we go ha, and everyone stops and stares at us. But then you're laughing, then you can't stop laughing. Now it's just like contagious. So I highly encourage people to try table envy.
That's great. Good. And I feel like humans have a shared sense of humor, and I know that from the internet and memes and things where I'm like, yeah, we're all on board that this owl running is funny, like because we didn't know its little legs looked like that,
May, send me the owl video.
Oh, I'm going to right now. It's wild.
Homeowners, we know you're listening. You might be sitting in your home right now, in fact. We want to let you know that you can save money on your home insurance by switching to Allstate today.
Check Allstate first, and you could save $574 on your home insurance. No hassle, just savings. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Okay, well, thank you for that. And let's hear our next question.
This one's from Dave.
Dave.
Hello, Handsome Pod. My name is Dave. I'm a preschool music teacher here in Portland, Oregon. And my question for you is, do you still remember the teacher that made learning more fun for you?
Big time.
Oh, I love my teachers.
Yeah, Tig, you have a specific one. I think you've talked about before.
I had a vice principal.
Yeah.
I guess she didn't make learning fun, but every time I was in trouble and sent to her office, she didn't really reprimand me. She talked to me and tried to get to the bottom of what was going on with me and showed me love and compassion. And it just really changed my life.
Yeah.
1,000,000% changed my life.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I got two, Mrs. Silver and Mrs. Reiki. And I'm still in touch with both of them, particularly Mrs. Reiki, who I do owe a text. But Mrs. Reiki was my grade 1 teacher, and she was just cool. And she was cool. She bought me a knapsack because I think my parents were having hard times, couldn't afford a knapsack. And I had because they spent all the money on the tuition, I had a plastic bag instead. And she took me aside and she gave me a little penguin backpack.
Aww.
Yeah. And she rules. And then Mrs. Silver was my music and drama teacher. And she was she made me Charlie Brown in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. And she just took me seriously. She was
Mm-hmm.
And she was funny. And one time I got a laugh attack in her class with my friend Laura, could not stop laughing. And she was like, you guys just go and laugh somewhere else. Just go in the hall and laugh. And she just let us go laugh.
Yeah. I mean, I could do a whole episode on all the teachers I loved, which maybe we will one day.
Yeah.
I had so many amazing teachers. Two that stand out. Mr. Bumgardner was my kindergarten teacher.
Bumgardner?
Mm-hmm. And he rocked a nice stash.
Bumgardner?
Sorry, that was Bumgardner.
Bumgardner? Does that sound weird? Y'all never heard that last name?
A Bumgardner?
A Bumgardner. Bumgardner?
Somebody gardening in a bum?
That's a real last name. Y'all never heard it?
No, I believe it. Yeah.
Well, but I mean, even if we've heard it,
it is
Bumgardner.
Bumgardner.
Yeah.
Well, he ended up being gay. Is that what you're trying to say? He was gardening.
And why was he? And why was he special?
He was just amazing. Everybody wanted him. He was so fun and he dressed so nice. And he just had such a wonderful spirit, He's the quintessential kindergarten teacher you wanted to have that just made everything delightful. I wish I could remember more. I just remember his essence, and presence. And then my 9th grade English teacher, Mrs. Horde, was 8th grade English teacher. She's who got me into public speaking, which I feel got me into wanting, being okay speaking in public. And I never knew that was a thing. And she had me do these oratorical contests and just was so fun. And she would take us on field trips to museums in Charlotte, because just sort of opened our eyes to more culture and things that I hadn't been exposed to, art and she was just really fun and cool and progressive in this tiny southern town.
And was she a hoarder?
She was not, that I know.
In the way that he was a Bumgardner.
Everyone's name we're going to take very literal.
Yeah.
God, it is true though. Teachers who are just passionate about anything, then it is so contagious. Mm-hmm. And yeah,
and kids just need that person in their life that's just you got this, you can do this. It's really impactful when you're young.
Yeah,
for sure.
To have guidance and people just sort of seeing you.
Yeah.
Stephanie blows my mind because she can remember every single kid from every class she was ever in, where they sat, every teacher's name.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, wow.
I think I'm sort of similar. I definitely... Grades 1 to 9, I could tell you everyone. I had a small class though, but I could tell you everyone.
Okay. I couldn't tell you everybody's name.
Yeah.
I could tell you every teacher.
We had a teacher, this is an example of when someone's passionate, you do remember. We had a teacher, Mr. He would say a fraction is a division, so you don't have to make a decision. You just take the numerator and divide by the denominator, and sooner or later you get a repeater or a terminator. And I remember it my whole life. That was grade 7.
Was this in the 80s?
No, this was in the 90s.
You remember that?
90s?
I'll remember it my whole life, but he did.
Yeah.
I think he got fired for buying booze for kids. So maybe beep
all
out his
the good
name.
ones
But
go down like that.
it's a funny punchline to the story, but beep out his name.
You know, he was in his rapper days.
Yeah.
You know, he was buying booze in a
gin and juice,
and one of those brown paper bags. And
God, why do all the fun ones just end up going down? Freaking smoking cigs with students and buying booze.
Should we hear their answer?
Yeah. Dave, what's up?
My teacher was Mr. Dave Meyer in Walla Walla, Washington. He was my social studies teacher in my freshman year of high school, and he let my band come in and play songs as a sort of social experiment, mainly because he and I connected over the band Meat Puppets, and it was a lot of fun.
Wow.
So I love the podcast, and I can't wait to hear more. Bye-bye.
The Meat Puppets. That's like a real hip teacher.
Yeah, that's cool. And I wonder what the band was like too. If Dave's band was
jam.
like, hardcore
meat puppetry.
They're all playing xylophones.
Well, thanks for the question. His name was Dave too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Dave loves a Dave.
All right, this next question is from Janet.
Hi, handsome. I thought I would ask all you pretty little ladies a question about women's sports. So, as a Division I women's basketball coach, I absolutely have loved seeing the publicity of the sport, the excitement, the publicity, all of it that has grown, over the last few years. And wanted to find out, what sports did all three of you play, if any, growing up? And what women's sports do you follow now? Thanks, handsome.
That's very cool that she's a Division I basketball coach.
I'm a pretty little lady, but there were no they teams growing up. Mm-hmm. So I did play soccer.
I played soccer. That was my jam.
Yeah.
I mean, I played, with my brother in the yard. I'd play football and baseball and basketball in the driveway, but I was all about soccer.
I was huge into sports. I have two older brothers, so I just wanted to do what they did. And so, I sucked at swimming. I've talked about that on Sweet and Salty Special.
But you're great at treading.
I'm great at treading, but I was obsessed with soccer as a kid, played all the time. And that was like my sport. Basketball was kind of my, this was pre phone, cell phones. And so I would go outside and just shoot hoops all day. But when I got to junior high, I played, they didn't have a women's soccer team. So I had to quit soccer when I got to junior high because they wouldn't allow girls to play on the boys' teams. It was just so sad.
That's so fucked.
The last 7 years, soccer was my life. So I played this on the softball team, the basketball team, and I did shot put for the track team.
No way.
And then every summer I played, I know, right? It's like the dykiest thing. I played tennis every summer, and that was also my big sport. But there was no tennis team in junior high, but I played year round, lessons. And in the summer I was in the league. When I got to high school, I played on the tennis team, basketball team, and softball team. Still didn't have a women's soccer team yet. When I got to college, I played in my college tennis team, and my senior year, I decided to also play on my college soccer team. And so I didn't play soccer since I was 12. I hadn't played soccer since I was 12 and just decided to play on my college soccer team my senior year of college.
What position?
Forward. I was a shooter.
Damn. Yeah, I can imagine you. Are you crazy competitive? Are you a good loser?
I'm not I don't lose my mind competitive, but I was a good teammate. I was good at we got to do this, bring it in. Yeah. I was good at communicating on the field. Go here, go there.
Yeah.
I was terrible at communicating on the field when people were like, hustle, come on. I'd be like, all right, relax.
Don't talk to me like that.
Yeah, don't yell at me. I'm doing
in
my
LA,
best.
I played tennis from every Thursday in a league here, and softball every Sunday, and I played soccer every Monday night for many, many years.
To make friends.
To make friends at first, and then I just loved it. And then when the pandemic hit, I it all kind of came to an end. So now I don't feel like an athlete, but I've been playing sports my whole life up until the pandemic.
They should do more hacky sack teams, because I'm getting back into hacky sack, and I'm pretty good. They
probably have that. They probably have those teams in LA
where it's just like keep you up. Like you're just trying to keep it up. It's not really competitive. It's like just how many hit. Yeah.
Well, women's sports right now is definitely having a big, light shined on them. Thank goodness, finally. The women's soccer team has done a lot to push that women's sports in the media.
The Women's World Cup soccer,
World
epic.
Cup has, the soccer teams have been amazing for so long, and you see the sweatshirts right now. Like everyone watches women's sports. That's very popular. Caitlin Clark in the WNBA, she got a huge, resurgence of people interested in college basketball. The final had the more watched viewer. It had more viewers than the men's final this year, which is unheard of. The sports, they're showing like these basketball games, like the Liberty in New York. The whole place is full. It's really cool to see.
That's sick.
That people are investing in the women's sports.
The pay disparity is so insane.
And it's outrageous.
It's outrageous. And then when I was watching the Women's World Cup soccer stuff, I was like, these are better games to watch because they're not faking as many injuries. Like some of those World Cup games, people are just rolling around and no one's come near them in the replay. And it seemed to me, not to generalize, but like the women's teams there was more play. Like they were playing.
Yeah, for
soccer.
Sure. They're not as big of babies, but those women spearheaded equal pay and they finally got it. So there's a lot of movement happening and a lot more to go, but it's definitely headed in a much better direction.
It's insane that it's even a conversation.
I know.
And Janet didn't have an answer, so
but she's thanks, living Janet, every day.
Yeah, thanks.
She's
thanks,
living
Janet.
it.
I want the three of us to be sitting courtside with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, we got to go to a game. I went to an Angel City soccer game. That was super fun.
Oh, that is
Saw
cool.
handsome folks there wearing the hats and saw some shirts. So
seriously?
Yeah.
Will you let me know next time you go? I really want to come. Yeah.
Go women's sports.
That was fun. Keep sending in your questions.
Yes, please.
Handsomes and little ladies and ladies and everywhere in between.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we want to hear them.
Yeah, hope everybody has an awesome weekend. Mm-hmm. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yes,
see you next Tuesday.
But in the meantime,
keep it handsome. Home insurance can be complex, but getting a great policy at a great price can be straightforward and simple. With Allstate, you can save time and money by switching your home insurance. They make it easy to switch and save today.
Check Allstate first, and you could save $574 on your home insurance. No hassle, just savings. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.